Hello and welcome to another episode of my retrospective look on TT Games LEGO games of the past. If this is your first time watching a video from the series, then don't forget to subscribe and please visit our YouTube channel or Life in Brick for the full series. Now, some say that 13 is a lucky number, and for me that's definitely true, the 13th episode of this series, and I get to look at one of my favourite movie franchises of all time in LEGO form. This isn't a galaxy far, far away. There's no superheroes, magicians or hobbits that could have prepared us for this. Dinosaurs are taking over the world in LEGO form. Welcome to LEGO Jurassic World. Now, back in 2015, off the back of the wondrous return of the movie franchise, we were all graced with the opportunity to visit both Jurassic Park and Jurassic World in bricked form. Since then, we've had, of course, another sequel, Fallen Kingdom, and while the reviews are a little bit mixed on it, it's safe to say that the Jurassic movies are in a very good place right now. Now, by the time that Jurassic Park opened its huge gates to TT Games, they'd already had a little bit of experience in the art of converting movie franchises into enjoyable brick-based puzzle games. Let's face it, they invented it. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones and The Lord of the Rings are just some of the movie franchises that they've actually bricked up, and I've had the pleasure of revisiting very recently, all with positive outcomes. So, having experienced all of the best that TT Games have had to offer recently from movie adaptations, how do Owen Grady and co do with this transition? As always, let's start with the story, and despite sharing the fourth movie's name, the game actually covers the entire franchise, all four movies from 1993's Jurassic Park through to 2015's Jurassic World. That's 20 levels that make up the core campaign, 5 per movie, each brilliantly taking significant scenes from the franchise and adding their own special LEGO touch. As much as I love the franchise, let's face it, they don't exactly provide the rich complexities in story that you'll find in, say, Tolkien's stories, or even Harry Potter's adventures for that matter. And so, with a little help from the rich level environments, the 5 level per movie actually works really well. There are a few pace issues in places, but they're minor side things, and side stories are overlooked in places, but overall a great deal of work has gone into ensuring that we get the very best that Jurassic Park has to offer. Unsurprisingly, the cutscenes are hilarious to say the least, working in tandem with the levels themselves to recreate key moments, most of which have been recreated almost frame by frame, with of course the TT wit thrown in for good measure. While this didn't always work for things like LEGO Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, each pun here is nailed perfectly. It's safe to say as well with this franchise there are a few gruesome moments in the Jurassic Park series which might scare the youngest of the target audience for this game, but much like Pirates of the Caribbean and Indiana Jones, TT Games has you covered. Take the opening scene from Jurassic Park as an example, the cargo box holding the raptor and the transfer which results in the unfortunate end of one of InGen's employees. LEGO Jurassic World replaces the carnage with a tug of war between said worker and the raptor for a sausage. To sum up, learning from the best of what came before, LEGO Jurassic World benefits greatly from a story perspective, nailing the jokes, ditching the scary bits and creating stunning levels packed with all the best bits. Story is one thing though, and whilst it's important to stay as faithful as they can to the movies, it's got to be a great game and a fun game, isn't it? If, like me, you've been a long-term fan of the LEGO series, then you're going to be more than familiar with the mechanics of the game. The controls are easy to master, and in terms of the abilities at your disposal, it's very easy to draw comparisons with other games. Alan Grant, for example, he has the ability to follow tracks, so in this case dinosaur tracks, very similar to what Aragorn had in LEGO Lord of the Rings. And he can also dig up buried items, much like Wolverine from LEGO Marvel Superheroes or Black Panther from Superheroes 2. Lex, the teenage girl that calls herself a hacker because she has the ability to navigate a Unix operating system, yes, that's hacker, not nerd, has the ability to shatter glass through screaming, much like Black Canary from LEGO Batman games. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's pretty fair to say that the LEGO formula, that refined system of skills and controls, is utilised to its fullest in this game without the need to do anything groundbreakingly unique. And to an extent, that's exactly what it does. Much like its predecessor, LEGO Batman 3, LEGO World doesn't set out to alienate its fan base with radical changes, and instead it takes the best of what came before. Now, that might sound like a bad thing if you're looking for something completely different, but at the end of the day, this is a LEGO game and it's targeted at youngsters, so consistency is key. That said, of course TT Games have thrown in something new just to make sure we're still paying attention. With Jurassic World, the unique feature is the ability to control dinosaurs. Yes, that's right, you get to control the dinosaurs. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. After all, if Jurassic World has taught me anything, it's that dinosaurs are characters too, and they deserve their own part to play in this recreation. Much like big figures like Hulk or The Thing from LEGO Marvel, your movement and ability is a little bit limited, but with brute force, if that's what you need, having a Triceratops on call is always going to be handy. The first big failing with this game, in my opinion, is repetition, however. Now, that might sound a little bit weird considering we're talking about LEGO games, which are essentially destroy, collect, create, repeat. But there are several parts of the gameplay that across the 4 movies that are shockingly similar. I mean, as you can imagine, there are many times throughout the story when you're being chased by a dinosaur, and in every single scenario, the gameplay is exactly the same. Your human character is automatically running and you have the ability to go side to side and jump. It's quite restrictive really. The T-Rex chase in Jurassic Park, the Raptors in Jurassic Park 3, the gyrospheres in Jurassic World, it's all exactly the same gameplay and with little thought that's actually gone into making it unique. Outside of the linear story, there is of course the open world, and fans will be more than pleased with this. It's epically huge. The hub is split into 4 distinctly separate areas, one for each movie essentially. On the main island, on one side you've got Jurassic Park open world, which is essentially the island from the original movie, and on the other side you've got the Jurassic World area, which is essentially a LEGO recreation of the newer movie's fully functioning theme park. While slightly smaller, the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 also have open worlds following paths of the movie on the second island. Now these areas are of course open for exploration, populated with the standard side missions and hidden collectives, all standard stuff really. It's the sheer size of these areas that add to the enjoyment. Every tiny detail of the movies is represented somewhere in here, and so full on Jurassic fanboys are going to have a field day exploring this. Sadly, there is one other fairly annoying downside with this game: poor audio. Now, early installments of TT LEGO series didn't give their characters voices. LEGO Star Wars, for example, is entirely mute from a vocal perspective. It wasn't until Frodo in the game came along and began their adventure in LEGO Middle-earth that we were actually treated to movie vocal talents ripped straight from the cinema experience to accompany the epic musical soundtracks. Now, the big problem here is age. Where the original Jurassic Park is now 25 years old, the sound bites suffer somewhat. This isn't going to do too much to hinder your enjoyment, but it is noticeable, especially on the early levels. Don't worry though, because you've got the John Williams epic theme tune to blare out as loud as you possibly can, you'll be fine. Overall, LEGO Jurassic World is exactly what we've come to expect and love from TT Games and their LEGO series. It didn't fall too far from the templates that came before it. It didn't need to, from a gameplay perspective at least. The transitions from movie to brick form have been very kind on the Jurassic Park franchise. Much like the Star Wars prequels movies, this game actually gives the less than great Jurassic Park sequels, Jurassic Park 3, a purpose in telling an overall story in a much more fun environment. Fans of Jurassic Park will love this game. It's one that has all the movies brilliantly retold with added humour, something that was lacking from 2 of the earlier sequels. Despite a few minor issues, it's still the most fun you're going to have while being chased by a man-eating giant lizard. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for letting me ramble on about this game. I'll be back very soon with another video in the series. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do subscribe, and please do visit the YouTube channel because you'll have the entire series on there. Please go to lifeinbrick.com or our Instagram page for more stuff that we do, not just the videos. And please, if you do have any feedback about how we can make these videos better, please leave it below. Anything good, anything bad, as long as it's not angry, let us know. Oh well, I'll be back very soon. Thanks again for watching. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far as well. Thanks, bye bye.